Hey, it's time for my picks, Ronnie's picks. I'm Ronnie. Um, in this video, I'm going to be predicting winners and losers for Week 5 of NFL season 2025. Kicking it off with Thursday Night Football, San Francisco 49ers at Los Angeles Rams. I'm picking the Rams. It's one of the bigger spreads of the week. I picked the Rams to win the division. Um, the Niners have beaten some easier teams, and the Rams looks like they mean business. Puka Nacua, leading the receivers in yards so far. So, yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams with confidence. But they're not one of my three Survivor picks. And it was a hard week for Survivor this week, and more on that in a minute. Moving on to Sunday in the England game. It's Minnesota again. Minnesota at Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland could pull it out with the way Minnesota is struggling, like in certain situations, like on offense. The quarterback's getting pressured. Maybe whether it was McCarthy or Wentz, it wasn't as crisp as clean as it was last year. But I'm still taking the Vikings. The Browns. They're putting in Dylan Gabriel, so who knows what that's going to be. The safe pick, the safe bet is Minnesota Vikings. Moving on to 1 o'clock, got the Raiders at the Colts. This is one of my Survivor picks for this week. Not fully confident, but I'm taking Indianapolis Colts. Some signs of the fluky Colts appeared last week in their loss. The same thing happened last year. They got like a big run and they fumbled, like a 70-yard run, and they fumbled it before they crossed the goal line for a touchback. And some other fluky things from the Colts. But the Raiders, they got problems like all over the place. Offense, defense. They probably got to bolster up their offensive line and get a number one wide receiver. Maybe a new quarterback. Some better players on defense to surround Max Crosby. We want it to be, but Las Vegas got to make some changes. They could still pull it out, but I'm definitely sticking with the Colts. New York Giants at New Orleans Saints. New Orleans made it pretty interesting last week against Buffalo, but Jackson Dart was pretty exciting in that upset win last week against the Chargers. They blew up 3 of my Survivor entries. The Giants did last week, and I'm not the only one. A lot of people are banking on the Chargers, so yeah, Chargers, you let us all down, but that's okay. With that being said, I'm taking New York Giants for the dub. Dallas Cowboys at New York Jets. Cowboys, I just knew Dak was going to be fired this year. Wish Micah didn't have to go yet again. This could be another shootout. Dallas, thank you. I'm wearing my Mitchell and Ness Detroit Lions shirt. It kind of looks like a Cowboys shirt, don't you think? Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the Cowboys. They got a chance, man, to make some noise and do something. They almost had 2-2 against the Packers, and they had to settle for that tie. Still good. Thanks, Cowboys. And I'm sticking with you guys for Sunday. Denver Broncos at Philadelphia Eagles. I'm taking Philly. They're gonna jump out over Denver potentially, and keep doing what they've been doing and continue with their winning ways. Taking Philly. Miami Dolphins at Carolina Panthers. I'm picking the Dolphins. I'd be more confident if Tyreek was still playing, but Dolphins got a stretch of games, of winnable games. They beat the Jets last week. They can go on a winning streak and get back into this thing. They have an opportunity to do so. Carolina is not the toughest opponent by any means, and they truly are inconsistent. So I'll pick the Dolphins. Houston Texans at Baltimore Ravens. Nola Marvelous, he's not playing. He's got the hamstring. I mean, he's doubtful, so I doubt he'll play. I'm still taking Baltimore Ravens. Cooper Rush is going to be in. They still got Derrick Henry. You know, when Cooper Rush was in Dallas and he backed up Dak, he came in and won some games. So I don't see any reason why the Ravens won't get this one. Tennessee Titans at Arizona Cardinals. This is my second of 3 survivor picks. So I have 6 entries left on ESPN.com in the Eliminator Challenge. Going for that 25K. Arizona Cardinals, second lock of the week. You guys aren't the greatest, but Tennessee, you're just not good enough right now. You got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you're the music people, and you had the Music City Miracle with McNair. And you guys were almost there with King Henry a couple times, but it's not good enough. Arizona Cardinals. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Seattle Seahawks were an interesting little matchup. Tampa Bay's missing Mike Evans, and Bucky Irving's not going to play, so they're missing key pieces on offense. But Seattle, I don't know why I don't trust them in this moment. They've been playing good this year, and they seem to be maybe something here, a surprise team that's really good. But I think Tampa Bay is a serious player here. They made a comeback against Philly. I got to roll with my guys. I got to roll with Baker. I got to roll with Godwin. I got to roll with Tampa Bay and Hassan Reddick. And all those guys. I believe in Tampa Bay. I just more so believe in Tampa Bay than Seattle. Last year, Seattle started off hot, and then they faded away. So it could be a repeat of last season. I'm picking Tampa Bay. Okay, Detroit Lions at Cincinnati Bengals. Good job, Lions. You got the dub last week against Cleveland when you really needed it. With a hard schedule, you had to beat Cleveland, and you did. Take that, Ohio. And Green Bay tied in the NFC North. You know what? And Chicago, you know what? Ben Johnson won, whatever. But Minnesota lost. It makes Detroit look good. This is my third of 3 survivor picks. 2 on the Colts, 2 on the Cardinals. My 2 confident placements, Detroit Lions beating Cincinnati Bengals. Joey Burrow's not there. Joe, why'd you have to leave us? I don't know. You guys have been getting blown out without Joe. So I'm taking Detroit Lions. Washington Commanders at Los Angeles Chargers. And Jaden Daniels is back. Washington, it's not good enough. Every time I pick you, you lose. Every time I pick against you, you win. You got to do it for me, Washington. So I'm picking against 12 or 13 experts on ESPN.com. And, I want to beat them. So far, I'm not beating them, and it's not good enough. So most of them pick the Chargers. I'm not picking the Commanders just to go against the experts and beat them. I'm picking the Commanders because I think they will win. I'm taking Washington Commanders. If I don't get some of these right, Washington, it's not good enough. I got to be number 1 in picks. I gotta be up there. I gotta get these picks right. If I'm not getting these picks right, it ain't right, and it ain't good enough. But I'm rolling with you guys again, Washington Commanders. Okay. How long will the Chargers keep ripping off these big plays? Can you guys maybe piece it together? Jaden's back. Maybe someone's got to pressure the Eagles. Why not the Commanders? And the AFC West belongs to the Chiefs. I don't think the Chargers will be able to sustain. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, New England Patriots at Buffalo Bills. Well, I got to take Buffalo Bills. They haven't lost yet. New England, I do want to pick you, and you're looking good this year, but you could mess it up against a good team. I'm definitely taking Buffalo Bills. Last game of the slate, Kansas City Chiefs at Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags, you're one of my favorite teams right now. You came through for me when I needed you last week. You got me back in this thing with a dub against the 49ers. Everyone had the 49ers besides one expert on ESPN.com. So you made up one for me. And I do want you to win, and I think you could win, but the Chiefs are also my guys. And, I've done good in picking seasons before. I've won an office pool of just straight picking, winners and losers, against like 20 other people. And, well, that was like a couple of years ago, maybe like 4 or 5, maybe let's say 4 years ago. And one of the reasons I got that was because I always picked the Chiefs, and I always picked the Chiefs. And I'm not going to stop here. I'm taking Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. So those are my Week 5 NFL picks, Ronnie's picks. And thanks so much for watching. And I'll catch you guys next week for my Week 6 picks on Wednesday.